I'm Gregory. I'd love to teach you how to play Food Truck Race. In Food Truck Race, you're going to step into the non-slip shoes of a food truck chef, racing to feed hungry customers. In this highly thematic game designed for 2 to 4 players, ages 13 and up, with an estimated playtime of about 60 minutes or less, you're going to cook a whole lot. If this is your first time playing Food Truck Race, you may be interested in Pop-Up, the 20-minute play-to-learn game. Pop-Up walks chefs through the setup and opening game sequence, as well as the core mechanics of Food Truck Race. Let's take a look at the game components. If you're unboxing the game along with this video, now's a great time to pause and arrange the components as you see here. Ready? Okay, let's set up a Food Truck Race. The Food Truck Race manual has slightly different rules for 2-player games versus 3 or 4-player games. Now, this video primarily focuses on 3 and 4-player gameplay. For 2-player games, you would use 2 NPCs, or we like to call them non-playable chefs. This means that each chef or each player will get an extra role in between each turn as if there were 4 chefs competing. Keeps the game lively and fun. Now, let's look through our Food Truck Race game as we address setup and gameplay. Food Truck Race includes 1 manual and 1 insert cheat sheet, 1 $50 racetrack as a central board, 4 food truck boards, which will be distributed 1 per chef. They have matching menus on them with the food truck names on the back. Wooden food truck to mark progress on the $50 racetrack. You'll also find 21 upgrade tiles to improve your cooking workflows inside your food truck. 2 custom dice, one is ABC, one is 1, 2, 3. You'll also have 56 grocery discs. You'll also have 120 ingredient cubes that are color-coded to those grocery discs. They can all be neatly stored in these 6 takeaway boats. Instructions to assemble those takeaway boats are included in the manual. The game also includes 4 turn sequence cards for keeping track of cooking workflows, with the farmers market's prices conveniently marked on the opposite side, as well as 80 order cards, each of which representing a customer, city official, or incident at your food truck. Once you've unboxed the game and set it out on your table like this, it's time to start the pre-race setup and $5 shopping trip. Hand each chef 3 order cards, 1 blue snack, 1 blue appetizer, and 1 orange double appetizer. You'll place them in front of or on top of each food truck queue, neatly with snack on the right, appetizer in the middle, and double appetizer on the left. Remove these 3 cards from their respective decks and place them as follows. The meter maid on the $10 spot, the tow truck on the $25 spot, and the food inspector on the $35 spot. Shuffle the remaining order cards into 2 stacks, big orders and small orders, and place them neatly on the board like you see here. Now, you'll want to pour the grocery discs and their matching ingredient cubes into those 6 takeaway boats. Place those wooden food trucks on the $5 spot of the Food Truck Race to represent the $5 you have to begin the game with your pre-game shopping trip. Before we go shopping, let's acquainted with the food truck you'll be racing today. Inside every food truck, you'll find 3 prep stations labeled A, B, and C. To their right, you'll see an open space with power, in which you could install a powered upgrade for your food truck. In the top row, you'll find a standard 8-spot mise en place, from the French, putting in place. This is a staging area for prepped ingredient cubes that are ready to plate and serve to customers. To the right of your mise en place, you'll see 3 open countertop upgrade spots encircled in orange. Above your truck is your 3-order line that can hold 3 order cards at any time. And to its right, you'll see your condiment stand. Let's get this thing started. The chef who most recently ate at a food truck is your head chef. They have a privilege and a responsibility in Food Truck Race. That all lies in the Hangriest customer. Starting with the head chef, all chefs may take 1 $5 shopping trip for 1 upgrade tile and as many grocery discs as they can afford and store on food-safe surfaces. Food-safe surfaces are indicated with a hashed lined circle in a prep station or on an upgrade tile installed in their food truck. When shopping, chefs move their trucks backwards 1 space for every dollar spent. and trucks may not pass 0 in reverse. Upgrade tiles are divided into 3 types and are available in this pre-game shopping trip. Prep station upgrades, which can be installed over A, B, and C. In the base game, that is the big prep station. Countertop upgrades that can be installed in the orange outline spaces, typically less expensive and do not require power. Also powered upgrades that can be installed in the blue outline space. They are marked with a power outlet or a plug as a easy reminder. Once the head chef has made their purchase of 1 or none upgrades, they can head to the farmer's market to shop for groceries. Chefs refer to their farmer's market on the reverse side for grocery prices throughout the game. Spices are free, produce, dough, and cheese cost $1, and protein and oil cost $2. Remember, grocery discs must be placed on a food-safe surface, indicated by the hashed circle marked on the food truck board, or in an upgrade tiles like you see here in the big prep. Once the head chef has taken their $5 shopping trip, all chefs will have the opportunity to take their shopping trip one at a time, starting to the left or clockwise of the head chef. Once all 4 chefs have shopped, the head chef will begin the race by rolling both dice and following their turn sequence card. The turn sequence card lays out the order of actions that all chefs can make in every single turn of food truck race. Those in blue, all chefs do. Those in orange are reserved for the chef who rolled the dice that turn. You can also think of that as the on-turn chef. First up is roll to prep. All chefs use the outcome of the 2 dice roll to prep in their food trucks. Whichever letter of the ABC dice is shown is the active prep station that turn. Whichever number shows on the 1, 2, 3 die is the number of ingredients prepped that turn. For example, if a chef has spices on A and a 2 is rolled, they must collect 2 blue ingredient cubes and store them in their mise en place. If a chef has produce in B and B1 is rolled, they pick up 1 green ingredient cube and store it in their mise en place. If they have oil on C and C3 is rolled, they pick up 3 black ingredient cubes. Again, they store them in their mise en place. Each chef is building a different menu and will have different groceries, so each is responsible for collecting their own ingredients every single roll. All ingredient cubes must be stored in a mise en place spot. Each food truck has a standard 8-piece mise en place that can be upgraded through play. All chefs must prep all ingredient cubes until they run out of mise en place space. If a chef has 2 spaces available in their mise en place and a 3 is rolled, they may only pick up 2 of the available 3 prepped ingredient cubes. Step 2 is plate any guest checks in line in any order. To plate, chefs consult their menu for the correct ingredient types that match their order cards. The ingredient cubes required to plate menu items are going to progress from simple to complicated as you go down the menu. All 4 food trucks will also show modifiers for small and large orders that order cards may ask for. When plating, return those ingredient cubes to their takeaway boats. Move the truck forward 1 space for every dollar in the total line of the order card, then discard the order card itself. The first chef to pass $10, $25, or $35 may continue moving their wooden truck forward the correct number of spaces, but they must pick up the city card they passed on those spaces and activate it immediately. Once completed with plating, chefs may progress their line to the right, filling in any gaps. Then they may draw new order cards from either pile to add to the end of their line. Remember, chefs are limited to 3 order cards at any time. If a city card or a city corner card adds a 4th card to one's line, the leftmost card must be discarded. There are a handful of city cards in either deck that may require extra or immediate attention from chefs during the race. If a chef draws a stop and do now card, they must interrupt gameplay to follow its instructions immediately. Otherwise, the card is to be added to their line and play may continue as normal. Some city cards, like the meter maid, indicate that it cuts to the front of their line. Here, the rightmost cards are pushed to the left to to make room for that intrusion. If there is a fourth order card, it must be discarded now. If a chef has a city card in line that has an associated fine, they may pay for it in this step of the turn sequence. If they choose not to pay the fine, it remains in their line for now. If they do pay it, they move their truck backwards one space for every dollar spent before discarding that city card. Chefs can make room in their mise en place and earn a little extra cash by selling any 3 ingredient cubes as a condiment for $1 during their plating phase. As they say, 3 for a buck will get you unstuck. Step 3 is shopping and is reserved for the chef who rolled the dice. That chef can buy up to 1 upgrade per turn and as many grocery discs as they can afford and store on food-safe surfaces. Remember, whenever shopping in Food Truck Race, chefs move their wooden truck backward 1 space for every dollar spent, and no chef may cross 0 backwards into the negative. Upgrades are detailed on the manual insert and are color-coded as an easy reminder to chefs who might forget where they can be installed. Chefs can also consult the reverse side of the upgrade tile for details regarding its use. To install an upgrade tile, chefs place it in an open and designated space on their food truck mat, and it can be used immediately. Chefs may also buy more groceries as their needs change throughout their shift. If they need to make room, they can discard or reorganize their truck on their turn. This includes moving grocery discs between food-safe surfaces and other prep stations. When their turn is complete, chefs pass the dice clockwise to the next chef who may begin their turn. The game progresses in turns until the dice are passed back around to the head chef and that round is complete. This triggers the Hangriest customer, wherein all chefs pass their Hangriest or rightmost order card to the chef on their right. Chefs progress their lines to the right and fill in that gap with the card that is passed to them from their left. If a chef receives a city card during the Hangriest customer movement, the card resets and they must follow its instructions immediately. In the case of the meter maid, the card cuts to the front of their line and those other 2 cards are pushed backward 1 space. All right, still with me? Let's knock out the end of game so that you can get to your first race. The game progresses in rounds, each round being punctuated with a Hangriest customer movement until any chef lands on or advances past $50, which triggers the final round of turns. In the final round of turns, all chefs get 1 more roll before the game is complete. The first chef to land on or cross $50 may not shop or reorganize the interior of their truck for the remainder of the race. You can consider their prep stations baked. Though they may prep and plate as normal, they cannot change anything about the interior of their truck. After the final turn, the chef with the most cash wins. In the case of a tie, the chef who spent the least on upgrades wins that tie. If this doesn't settle a tie, I'm sorry. You'd better just play again to see who really is the best chef on the street. That's how to play Food Truck Race. Thank you for spending the time with this video, and I hope that you enjoyed this game with your friends, and hopefully don't make too many enemies in the process. Take care for now.